Odo's found something intriguing in the Masan system. Something the Founders want no one to know about, even one of their own. That certainly piques my curiosity. I'll meet you in the Masan system. Odo wants to travel incognito this time. I trust you'll be able to deliver him and that surly Jem'Hadar bodyguard of his to the Masan system intact. One more thing. I've taken the liberty of informing Captain Kira, and she'll be joining us as well. After the Karema incident, she's taken a personal interest in high-level Dominion activity, particularly where Ambassador Odo is involved. Be seeing you.
I only recently learned of the station here. It's very old and very well concealed, even from Vorta and Jem'Hadar. From what I can tell, the Founders studied alien life here, including the Herc. We may be able to recover useful tactical data on them from the station's computers. No, and that concerns me. This is supposed to be an abandoned facility. Take us into comms range and open a hailing frequency. Let me do the talking. I should be able to make any Vorta or Jem'Hadar fall into line if things get difficult. So far so good. They're not targeting us.
Entering the Dominion systems without authorization has become a bad habit of yours, one I have grown weary of. You've shown a singular talent for annihilating the Herc. I suggest you return to that, before my patience with your insolence expires.
There's no need for this posturing, Founder. We're here on official business under my authority.
Odo, it seems to be a day for defiance and bad habits. You do not have the authority to grant access to this system. It is restricted to all but those of the highest level, a level you do not possess. Now then, I suggest you leave immediately. Fire to disable. Odo must not be harmed.
Dominion forces, this is Counselor Garrick aboard the Tane. Cease hostilities. Consider that your first and only warning.
We must protect the Founder. All ships, disengage!
You certainly know how to make my days more interesting. An ancient Dominion research facility, guarded by the leader of the Founders? A cloaked fleet pales in comparison, but it's the best I can add to the mix. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The fact that the Founder was willing to fire on one of her own speaks volumes on this station's worth. I look forward to discovering its secrets.
Since when does the Founder stand guard duty, Odo?
She doesn't. Let's find out what she's hiding.
We don't have a lot of time. We may have held off the Founder for now, but she'll be back, and she'll bring friends. Let's get down there and find what we came here for, before every Jem'Hadar in the Quadrant shows up.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. Why don't you and the Ambassador join the away team while I remain on guard with my fleet? On any other day, I'd be the first to beam down. However, after the Karema incident, I believe both the Captain and the Ambassador need to discover the truth of this station together. Call it a trust-building exercise.
Captain Kira makes a good point. Let's get this over with before it gets even more complicated than it already is.
Looks like the station's running on auxiliary power. We've got life support, basic lighting, not much else. If we're gonna get anything useful out of this relic, we'll need to get the main power back online.
Stay vigilant. We have no idea what to expect here.
Well done. Main power is back online. We'll be able to access other systems, including the data core. Let's find an access console and see what's in there. Hopefully the data files aren't corrupted beyond repair. This terminal is in poor shape. None of the files are accessible. Considering their age, I'm not terribly surprised. The Founders wouldn't keep a place like this hidden to protect dust and broken files. Let's check all the data terminals and consoles in the area. That one over there looks reasonably intact.
Research Report 4121.63, Dominion Reckoning. My fellow Founders, the Mesan Research Station is fully operational. As we continue to add worlds to our sphere of influence, our studies of xenobiology become more important. We must know all we can of both friend and foe. We need every advantage we can find if we are to achieve true dominion. Our Premier project is underway. You'll recall the recently discovered race of tree dwellers, hunted as we once were. Genetic engineering of these solids has produced considerable results. Their intelligence has increased by a factor of 3 so far. We predict the species will be the first of many loyal servitors and vassals.
She's talking about the Vorta. The date she gave was nearly 2,000 years ago, not long after the Dominion was founded. This facility's older than we thought. Much older.
Research Report 4653.15, Dominion Reckoning. Our scouts have discovered an interesting species of solids at the edge of the Dominion. They are a species of sentient insectoids that live primarily underground. We may not have detected them were it not for a thorough geological scan. Initial studies have revealed that these solids are based on germanium. I've attached bioscan data we collected on them for your review. I've dispatched a research unit to study these burrows further. They may be just what we need for the military initiative.
Burrowing sentient insectoids. Germanium-based. She must be talking about the Herc. Judging by the date, the Founders made first contact with the Herc nearly 2,000 years ago.
Research report, Dominion date 7021.27. More data has arrived on the cadre species 484 designation, Burrows. Their world's unusual orbital path has taken it out of the habitable zone. As a result, the Burrows have retreated underground and entered a state of hibernation. While dormant, a smaller cervital race tends to the Burrows. They also maintain their shared habitat and technology. I've instructed the field team to take advantage of their dormancy period, and they are now conducting aggressive studies of these intriguing solids. My team initiated first contact protocols with the borrowers prior to their mass dormancy. They found them to be friendly and intelligent, if not willful. We've identified a common element in their food supply. Manipulation of this element may prove useful in subjugating them.
Unbelievable. It sounds like the Founders made first contact with the Herc in order to find a way to conquer them. It's like Quark says, the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
Research report 7903.01. Dominion Reckoning. Cadre species 468, designation Jem'Hadar, is a massive success. They will be the strong arm of our Dominion, guided by our cunning, brilliant Vorta. The toil of these vassals will allow us to spend more time in the link with those we hold most dear.
The birth of the Jem'Hadar, as seen through a Founder's eyes. Interesting. No mention of the Herc, however. Their designation number was lower than ours. They were our predecessors. Perhaps something went wrong? Something that led the Founders to reject and abandon them for a different species. Us.
Research report Dominion date 8183.67. The Burrowers have emerged once again, and in a hostile state. They have taken to the stars, moving from sector to sector, attacking anyone that crosses their path. Their goal is not one of conquest, but of consumption. They leave nothing but dead worlds in their wake. Though we do not understand their newfound savagery, we have found a use for it. When the Burrowers set their sights on a world, we offer the inhabitants a choice. Those that submit to our Dominion rule are defended by the Jem'Hadar. Those that don't serve as an object lesson to others.
So, the Founders have been using the Herc to manipulate others for some time now. Bend the knee to the Dominion, or we'll stand back and let them ravage your world. Only now something's different. Something's changed. They can't keep the Herc in line with the Jem'Hadar anymore. And we're all paying the price.
Research report 8532.38. Our scouts have returned from a wormhole expedition. The solid races on the other side are primitive and unremarkable, save for one. They are called Klingons, and show a singular talent for violence, one that rivals our own Jem'Hadar. Left unchecked, these savage creatures could become dangerous enemies. While the Klingons are too willful to subjugate, their genetic material could produce viable cohorts to the Jem'Hadar, or their replacements. We have begun development of a new cadre species, designation Thakiri, using demons from Klingon folklore for inspiration. As with Jem'Hadar, we have bound them to our service with the White. We will test them in combat on the Klingons themselves. Research report supplemental entry 8671.71, Dominion Reckoning. Somehow the Vakari have broken the hold of the White and turned on their rightful masters. Most of our research team were killed. Intelligence reports suggest a union between the Vakari and a Klingon warlord known as Mullah. Perhaps this will lead to a state of mutually assured destruction on Quanos. One can only hope.
So it would seem. Only they lost control of them, despite the use of Ketracel White. Based on what we know about Fakiri, it seems the price they paid for their freedom was insanity. They became the monsters they were based on.
Research Report 9076.23. Final entry. I am weary. Soon I'll return to the Great Link, and I will be glad to be rid of this place. The borrowers have emerged again. We can barely control them this time. The Jem'Hadar were able to divert their onslaught at great cost. Rather than counterattack, they went through the wormhole to seek easier prey. Our agents in the other quadrants report that the burrow assault was a sweeping one, going as far as Kronos. Hopefully they'll devour every atom of that wretched planet. The burrowers will eventually return to dormancy. Strangely, it appears that some of their forces intend on remaining in the other quadrants. It seems they have a long-term goal: galactic devastation.
Yes, they knew the Herc problem was getting worse even then. Instead of preparing or seeking allies, they expanded the Dominion. And when the Herc re-emerged, they tried to deal with it on their own, and failed. Their arrogance may lead to the end of the Dominion. We need to get this data to the Alliance, all of it, even the damaged and corrupted files. There has to be information we can use in here.
I'm picking up something on my tricorder. There was a massive power spike on a lower deck, and now I'm reading a large number of systems cycling up. Something's happening down there.
Agreed. Take your team and Captain Kira down to investigate. I'll remain here and pull as much of the data as possible. We won't get another chance at this.
We must be close to the core. Hope we don't have to leave in a hurry. There's no way our ships can lock onto us down here with transporters. Tell me about it. Let's stay focused on the mission. Now that we're closer to the signal, I'm getting better readings on my tricorder. I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure everything that came online down here has some sort of medical purpose. I'm still uncertain about Odo. I need to be sure he's still not a part of all this. The Odo I knew wouldn't have risked Bajor like that. This Odo seems arrogant and reckless, even dangerous. Well, that answers one question. These are medical stasis pods. Judging by what we heard upstairs, I think the occupants are Fakiri. It gets worse. I'm picking up life signs ahead. I'll bet some of the stasis pods down here have opened. From what we know about the Fakiri, they probably won't be happy to see us. Worf and Martok need to see this. I'm picking up traces of Ketracel white in these tanks. The Dominion probably manufactured it here to keep the Fakiri in line, and took it with them when they left the facility. So, we have a station full of angry Fakiri with no way to pacify them. We've got company, and they don't look friendly. We're lucky there were only a few of them. I don't want to be around if all of these Fakiri wake up. Let's see if we can find some way to keep the rest of these pods from opening. By the prophets. More incoming. We need an exit plan. Fast.
Odo to Kira, we're on our way to assist you.
Personal shield losing power.
Nerys, are you...
I'll manage. Let's get out of here while we can.
Victory is life.
So is Raptogino, but I don't say it every 5 seconds.
I think we've worn out our welcome. Garrick informs me that a number of unidentified vessels are emerging from hidden bays throughout the station. To make matters worse, the Herc have arrived. They're beginning to assault the station as we speak, and I don't need to tell you how that will end. It's time to leave. Looks like the Herc followed us down here. Keep moving. We're almost there.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
You might be right. Listen. Are you insane?
I'm relieved to see you well. It's fortunate we arrived when we did. A moment later, and that creature would have attacked the Founder.
Odo wasn't in any danger, Wayun. That Herc was peaceful. It was trying to communicate with us.
That's your opinion. Mine is that a Founder was in danger of being attacked by a member of an aggressive species. My duty was clear, as is my conscience. We're wasting time here, Captain. The station is on the verge of being overrun by the Herc. If you want to communicate with them some more, you're free to do so, but I recommend we leave immediately.
Once we return to the upper levels, we will be able to beam up and leave this place. Are you ready to return?
Glad you could join us. As you can see, the situation here has become rather combustible. The Herc I recognize, of course, but our other opponents remain a mystery. Some new type of Dominion attack craft, perhaps? Valkyrie? The monsters from stories that keep naughty Klingon children in line? I'm intrigued. Be sure to fill me in once we've managed to get out of the skirmish intact. I remember Mr. Worf mentioning the Valkyrie once. I'm beginning to see why they concern him.
Target shields have failed.
These Valkyrie ships are tough for ancient relics. Reading a massive Herc fleet dropping out of warp.
Just as the Valkyrie are warping out.
Looks like the Valkyrie are pursuing the better part of Valor. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of Herc out there.
The Herc seem to be distracted. There's something about the station that's holding their attention. We might be able to take advantage of this.
Are you suggesting we attack? Well, it's true, we have the advantage, for now. I don't think we'll hold it for long once we start blowing them apart. We have what we came for. If the Herc want to gnaw on an asteroid while we make a hasty exit, I believe we should let them enjoy their meal in peace.
Very well, we'll deal with the Herc later. For now, let's get back so we can analyze the research data we found here. Whenever you're ready.
The Founders never disappoint, do they? Learning their role in the creation of Klingon mythology was alarming, to say the least. I can't help but wonder what other secrets we'll learn once those ancient data files are restored. I'm afraid I have bad news to share. I reviewed your encounter with that peaceful Herc, and my universal translator analysis is clear. It was trying to communicate. It was asking for help. One thing is certain. The Founders won't forget our act of defiance. We should all be on guard from now on. Our uneasy peace with the Dominion could unravel all too soon.